It means a lot to us, right? It's this opportunity to get win number 10, and despite everything that's going on within the framework of college football, like we want to win this game. So we're prepping like it. A lot of young Debo guys able to get a lot of reps. It's been awesome. The guys have been locked in. They've been focused. There are a lot of distractions, but I think that we've cultivated a system here to allow guys to understand distractions are going to happen, and you just gotta hone in and stay focused when you walk in this building, right? Because that's the world we live in. They're gonna face some distractions, and we try to limit them. But we got some great dudes, man. We got some incredible young men, and they've been practicing hard, and we're just excited about getting down there, and playing this game.
What is we didn't ask you this last year because you didn't go to a bowl game, but what's the balance of trying to put together a 2025 roster while trying to prepare to win this football game?
It's a lot. It's obviously really, really hard on coaches, but that's what we sign up for. You know what I mean? Like, I love it, man, because you get a chance to instantaneously upgrade your roster on top of developing the young guys that you have, and that's just the framework we're in right now. And I know a lot of people are making a huge deal about it, and it is a big deal, but it's like, dude, who are the powers that be? When are they gonna do something about it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, everybody can clearly see it's a problem, right? So when are the powers that be gonna come up with some solutions, right? It's like everybody's making a deal of it, and people would say we're complaining, or coaches are complaining, but who's in charge? You got an answer to that?
No.
I don't know neither.
I do. Nobody.
So if we don't know who's in charge, we probably need to make somebody in charge so that we can have some resolution, right? Because it's clear everybody's been for players getting paid. Everybody's been for players being able to transfer. But here's the deal, fellas. We got to keep it real. Does education really matter now? That's the $1 million question. Because at the rate it's going, it doesn't matter.
Maybe more than $1 million.
Yeah, right. Education does not matter at this moment. And so my concern right now is that there are going to be players throughout the country that are going to make decisions based on a small time frame in their life, and they're not going to get a college degree.
I think it's
$1 million, $500,000, $100,000, $50,000, $25,000 is a lot of money. I can remember going to sign up for my Pell Grant, and my mom that year to sign up for my Pell Grant, she made $10,982. We would consider that poor, right? She made that much money in a year span. All right, in some way we found a way to live off of it. Obviously times have changed, but here's the deal. If I said, I'm gonna give you $200,000 right now, do you think that will last you the rest of your life? Probably would not, right? And so we gotta figure out, when I say we, the powers that be, we have to figure out what's important. Players need to be compensated, but they also need to be able to get a degree. Because if we sit here saying that degrees matter, but paying them, but half these dudes ain't got a degree who get in the portal. Like, that's just what it is. And so we just got to come up with some solutions. And I'm hoping that once bowl season and the season is over with, that whoever the powers that be is, because obviously we keep talking about the NCAA, but they ain't got it figured out.
But also finding ways outside of it to protect myself.
Everybody looking around trying to figure out what's going on, and it seems like nobody has answers. And I'm all for it, man. It's all, but what's going to happen is everybody's happy and excited right now, but 5-10 years down the road, there's going to be massive repercussions for it, and we gonna sit here as adults and say, man, we should have did something about it.
So far, it looks like you're going to be playing South Carolina with all your key guys, as far as we know. But how big, and not just that, but next year too, how big is that to retain your guys and bring back that experience to the field next year that you had on the field this year?
It's massive, right? And anything can happen, like having our, like, we always talk about, like, guys being in the moment, and just, to play this game is a great opportunity, right? Like, I think about Coach Dimmel. Right, I think about obviously him being in the building one day and obviously passing the next. And so it's just, you try to, as a coach, I try to put things in perspective for our players, right? Like you're going down to get ready to play in a bowl game in Florida. Got a lot of guys from Florida for the 10th win against a really incredible SEC team. We're historically, I think we're 0-6 versus SEC teams. Like, this is a great opportunity for us. So let's maximize this, man. Let's not worry about tomorrow or 3 weeks from now. Let's take advantage of what we got now. I mean, it's clear as day. Like, there may be some guys on our team that it'll be a different team next year. It's gonna be some guys graduate. It's gonna be some guys leave to go to the NFL. That's just what it is. But right now, let's enjoy this, right? Like we call it family for a reason. Like let's enjoy the time we got together. And when this thing is over and done, we'll do it accordingly. But a great opportunity for this program, a great opportunity for the state, a great opportunity for the city. So we're just really, really excited about not only just being able to have this opportunity, but taking full advantage of it.
Who's Matt Bailey right now in your bowl? Like practices, because I remember 2 years ago when Sidney Brown opted out, Matt Bailey had to play every snap in that bowl game. Who's Matt Bailey out there right now in that bubble?
You're talking about outside of Matt Bailey?
Yeah, I'm like, who's the next Matt Bailey that's going to have to, that you're giving a lot of reps to right now in these bowl practices?
Who's the next Matt? That's a tough question. Who's the next Matt Bailey, man? That dude is really, really good. But I will tell you this: some younger guys I'm really excited about. Tanner Heckel is unbelievable. Vernon Woodward has been absolutely incredible. Juice Clark. I mean, I know everybody keeps making reference to size and spoon, but he's just been playing at a completely different. I mean, it's so awesome just in their growth, and it's so good to have these practices because these young men, they get better with practice. And so just to see the strides they've made from week 1 to week 6 to the last game of the season to now, it's been awesome, man, and we're just really, really excited for those guys to go out there and continue to grow and flourish and play and fly around. And JoJo Hayden, I can name a ton of guys who they're really relishing in this opportunity for these practices and just even going into next season.
What's the focus been since the end of Northwestern to this bowl game in practice for your defense?
The focus has been to win, right? The focus has been to, everybody's going to have distractions. Right, and we address them and talk about them daily. Like, distractions obviously are going to show up; they're going to be there. But how do you, once you hit the field, how do you stay focused? Because to be honest with you, the team that can stay the focus the longest is the team that's going to win. There's distractions on both sides, right? I know they had their OC just got a new head coaching job, right? So there's element of distractions right there. I'm sure they got guys in the portal just like we have guys in the portal. Like it's a distraction on all parts, but how can we stay focused? And so it's just like that's been the main thing. The main thing has just been owning the moment, right? Truly staying focused to what's at hand. Let's take it a day at a time. When this thing's over, we'll deal with it accordingly. But I think the guys have really bought in there. I mean, they're practicing lights out right now, man. They're flying around, communicating at a high level, and it's been really good.
With a month between games, how much does the Northwestern game inform the South Carolina game? Usually it's a Saturday to Saturday,
Yeah, it's two completely different game plans. Obviously, two completely different opponents. They're not similar in any regard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What I meant is you're coming off one game, and it's like, okay, we need to make these corrections off that game. Is it the same because there's a month?
I mean, I think it's yes and no. You don't change what you've been doing, which is giving you success. I mean, we've won 9 games here this season, right? And obviously that's not the end all be all, but you talk about coming here and making progression, and I think we've made some really good progression over coaches 4 years here, but the reality of it is we're trying to win the 10th game, and obviously things do change week to week. I think the biggest thing is just guys just getting healthy. We had some guys banged up at the end of the year, and it's been absolutely awesome to get a lot of those guys back. I mean, we had like a month window. They're gonna have a chance to go home and hang with family for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And so, I think the important thing is that you don't change what you've done. You find ways to tweak it or make it a little better, or based on the opponents you have, maybe you can add something here, add something there, but you don't holistically change everything you do. You're kind of trying to tweak it and try to find your strong points. And at the end of the day, it's about football's about taking the ball away and tackling, man. Right, we gotta tackle at a high clip. We gotta take the ball away, and so that's been a point of emphasis.
Big Florida.
Somebody you can talk about. What does he bring?
Yeah. Obviously, that's been incredible to add that guy, man. And I just think his value, right? Like, I think the key thing is looking for somebody who's played in this conference, right, who has a lot of experience, and that's just something that you can't teach, man. I can remember being a young position coach, and I can remember Coach Dave Dorn grabbing me one day, and he was like, one thing you can't replace is experience. You know, that cat's got a lot of experience, and just to watch him kind of run around and what he's did on film, I mean, it kind of went without being said. You know, if you can add those kind of pieces to what you already have. Like, we have an incredible, and I know Coach don't like using this term here. We have an incredible system and an incredible culture, right? We care for these guys in high regard. You talk about pumping them out, getting ready for them to play in the NFL. We've done that, right? With less in regards to some of the big time programs across the country. But the reality of it is that at the end of the day, they want to play in the NFL. Well, we got a head coach who's coaching in the NFL, right? We got a head coach who's also been a head coach for 16 years in this conference in college football, and I think about 12 in this conference, right, or 11 in this conference. And so these guys, they get here, they see what we're about, they see the facility. A lot of people don't know what Illinois has to offer until they get here. They meet the staff. I really believe what makes us different is just how we communicate with our players, the relationships that we have, and just what we've kind of built in regards to coaching. So they get here, they see what we got to offer, and I think the rest is kind of history. The hard part is typically getting them here. You know, I think once you get them here, there's typically a great opportunity for them to end up staying. And so we're extremely excited to get Leon. He obviously has a tremendous piece for us of being able to rush the passer. He's obviously played in this conference. He played some big-time games. And so credit to the work he's put in, and I'm just excited about having another piece for us defensively.
Big Florida connection on this team. Other guys looking forward to spending some time back home. And what's it do for recruiting for you to be able to showcase your team in Central Florida?
Yeah, I mean, it's momentous. Like it's unbelievable. Like, we can't. I know there's going to be some recruits down there in that area, right? Who I'm sure are going to go to the game. But you're playing in Orlando, Florida, right? And so there's talent. Kirby Joseph, right, is from Orlando, right? There's a ton of talent, right? You got Dennis Briggs, who's from the Orlando Kissimmee. I mean, there's a ton of talent in that area, talent in Tampa, talent south of that area. I mean, anytime you can go down there and play a game, it only benefits us in regards to recruiting. I mean, we got a ton of guys from just the Florida area in general, and it's just a bonus for us to get down there and obviously play and have a chance to play an SEC opponent and be on national TV. And I mean, it's just all good code, but it does benefit us in recruiting.
When I look at your secondary, all those guys can be back, and kind of reminds me of the end of 21, going into 22. What's that continuity do when you have returning starters at bias-ish positions?
Yeah, I mean, it's super important, you know. I mean, I think anytime you're replacing, you know, right, like you're replacing significant talent in the secondary, and if you move on from those guys and those guys leave and go to the NFL, and they leave and transfer, I mean, you're coming in with new faces who may not be as experienced. And so we got a lot of experience in the secondary, right? Like, I think about coming into this year, right? Like, I think totally coming into this year, outside of Torrey Cox being one of the starters for us, I mean, Xavier Scott, I think, had 10 starts, but Miles Scott, right, like, had 10 starts. You know, but there was a lot of other guys who Matt Bailey had started, I think, 3 or 4 games, right? I think about Tyler Strain hadn't really, he played a little, but he hadn't really started a significant amount of games, right? Caleb Patterson hadn't started a significant amount of games. And so to have them have a year like this where they built up a ton of starts, they played a lot of really good football for us. They've been thrown into the fire. Juice Clark, right? He had a chance to get a start in his last game. Matt Resetich got a start in versus Michigan State. And so you start building a brotherhood that's really tight. Guys are cheering for each other's success. Guys want other guys to succeed. And then you have a cat like Xavier Scott, who's obviously an incredible talent back there, but who's also a leader, right? Who guys look up to, right? Juice Clark gave a speech a couple of weeks ago in regards to our DB unit, and he was just, I went around the room and I asked each player what are they thankful for, and Juice Clark said, I'm thankful for Xavier Scott. Man, tears almost came to my eyes because when he said it, there was so much conviction, right? There was a lot of conviction, and you can tell how X has kind of took him under his wing. You can tell the brotherhood that they formed. You can tell X has been kind of just trying to show him the ropes. And so those are the kind of dudes we have here, man. Like, we got some incredible young men, dude. And it's just a byproduct of, Coach talks about tough, smart, dependable. of the kind of talent we recruit out of high school, the kind of talent that we recruit out of junior colleges, and the kind of transfers we want to get in here. Listen, we don't need to find the best player. We don't need to find the best player. Portal, high school, wherever. We got to find the right player. And the right player, he may not be as talented as so-and-so. But you know what? He may be a great glue guy, and he may give us quality reps, and he may fit our system. That's who we got to find. And I think we've done a really, really good job of that.
Thanks, Coach.